so I'm warmed up, which you should be too. I just want to share with you the 4 muscles you need to stretch in order to do the splits. And one of them is severely neglected by most of us. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Basically, I'd start with stretching the hamstrings. There's lots of ways to stretch the hamstrings, but I'll take it down here with a flex, and I'm going to keep my neck up as I stretch down. I'm going to add some little pedal pushes, I call them. So I'm putting one hip back and the other. Oof. Yeah, and keep your head up. You're going to feel that nerve pulling. This is called neuroflossing. It's kind of an innovative way to stretch. You're making that nerve move as you're pulling on it. Yes. And then I'm going to come up and breathe. And down. This is just my suggested way to stretch out your hamstring. There's lots of ways to do it. So that's the number 1 muscle, hamstring. So the first thing I do is I just see how you're doing. You kind of check in with those hips. And I go to what I call stacked logs. And this knee might be up a little bit. So you're just going to let it gently go down with some breaths. Letting it release. And be very mindful about this. You want to feel where that tightness might be and let it go. Don't be yanking and pushing down. Doesn't really help. Your body will feel like it's under attack. I'm going to switch legs, and most likely it's going to be easier. Now, if this hurts your knee, sometimes it gets me right in here, it's not bothering me today, then I would not do it. If you feel a tightness maybe up in your groin or in your hip, you might need to do an extra stretch to get that opened up. I would suggest not really the frog. That's that won't get exactly the same place. But there's a little aikido stretch where you take your feet together and then you go slightly into one hip backwards. So you're pulling into that leg, whereas a frog, I would just go straight down like this. I never do my frog, as you notice my frog videos, with my feet together, because then my back is arched. I've got to keep myself in a regular grand plie. Okay, but we're not doing that, so I just want to demonstrate the difference. So I'm going to go into this hip, because that's where that tightness is for me. Okay. That, believe it or not, will actually help my split. I'm going to do that for a little bit to let it release. Then when I go back to my hip opener, it should be better. Ta-da! Yeah, that's totally gone. The other one is a modified T-stretch, which would be crossing one leg. You can do it sitting up, but personally, I prefer sitting up tall and pushing myself towards it, getting that hip to open. If you're super flexible and can do a full T-stretch, you probably don't even need to do any openers. But I'm not super flexible on the back of my hips. A full T-stretch, I'll attempt to do it, but really not very good at it, because my hips are naturally tight at the back. This knee would be all the way down, and I would be making a T across the top. So you kind of want to get past the top of the patella or the kneecap onto a softer, fleshier area, but also pad is really, really helpful for anyone. I'm keeping this long and lifted, this very, very connected. This is elongating, this whole frontal area of your hip. That's what's going to be the back stretch, part of it, for your back leg. Now, you can take this one up and open, 2, 3, I'm feeling a stretch right through my psoas. Psoas is the only one that runs from the front to the back of your body. The only muscle. It's very long, lengthened. I feel that really giving now. And recover up, and let's switch sides. Place your back knee on the cushion. Lift up tall, place your hands, and go forward. So I'm thinking of an arrow going up, and then lengthening here. Another arrow up to my knee. and stretch. And lengthen. The more I lengthen, the more I hold my abs. And stretch, 2, 3. My knee is almost wanting to go past this toe now, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to test my hamstring again. Right. And breathe. Nice stretch on the back. Reach out. Stretching those feet. Come back up. Stay connected up tall. Let's return to the first side and add that hamstring. Little stretch and reach it down. 2, 3. This could remind you of Swan Lake. Put your hands here. And stretch it up and out. The next one I'm going to do is a psoas on this side, and reach. 2, 3, 4. Keep check of this. Don't let that sink into a puddle. Keep that lift up and switch. The reason I'm not using a yoga mat is it's hard to slide, I find, on the yoga mat, to slide those legs forward or backwards. And I'm just pressing into this front leg. I'm still sitting side saddle, a little bit over here. And I want to adjust myself to the middle, but keep this placed. It's okay. All right. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Little gentle pulses. 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. And roll down just to feel where you're at. Is this going down? Yeah. Still feels a bit tight. This hip is here. Okay. Now I'm going to graduate. Graduate onto the split. How does it feel? Feels okay. I'm going to go on to the final muscle, which is the one that I'm talking about that most of us skip. The rectus femoris, one of your quadriceps. I'm going to go ahead and definitely keep your knee on a cushion. Scooch up. Grab that foot. I think it'd probably be better to get the same arm as same leg because you're trying to keep it behind you. There we go. And then pull it in. There's one version of doing this where you can push your foot into your hand, thereby creating a resistance stretch. And then hopefully it goes further. Well, it did. And push, 2, 3, 4, and let go. In. And push, 2, 3, 4, and in. It'd be wonderful if I could get my toe to my seat, but I don't think I'm going to be able to today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, square it off as much as possible. These hips should be facing front. And lengthen. If I could have someone just come along and pull my back leg out a little bit and my front leg out to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I'm kind of walking my foot back away from me back there. That's going to be as far down as I'm going to go, which I think is pretty much there. Let's try the other side. This side might be a little less flexible. My left leg sometimes is. Okay, so position your cushion, so you'll end up on it. Back to the pigeon. One other helpful method of doing this, because I find that a lot of people's front leg will go sideways, is instead of just going straight out like I did on the first side, is you can go up to a kneel, again, here, and plant your hands on either side of your foot. Your foot should not be over here. It should be in the center line of your body. Okay, so now I'm a really elongated psoas stretch, basically. And I'm going to go ahead and do the final step, which is to extend that leg straight through. There we go. Let's give it a little Test, down, and recover up. Go ahead and bend that back knee. Adjust your cushion if necessary. And stay right in the center. Shift forward. And then we'll do the same thing we did on the first side of pushing into that hand. This side I'm a little higher up. Push, 2, 3, release. Push, 2, 3, release. And don't let yourself sit side paddle. This is a little harder, so this is good. You can see what it's like when you're not all the way down. I understand it's more of a struggle. Keep your balance. And release. Ooh, and down. That made a huge difference. That side is almost